Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investors channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Now that the market is quite in the downtrend right now because of everything that's happening with Elon Musk, Tesla, and Bitcoin, I think it's time for me to cover some large cap tokens that still have an exponentially high potential to grow. And one of the projects that I've always wanted to kind of like accumulate in large quantities is ANKR protocol. And ANKR is basically a large cap gem which is kind of within the top 100th ranking in coin market cap. And with the opportunities like this dip, it's better that people start doing research on some of their favorite large cap gems because there's a lot of tokens that are available at a discount, and you know what to do when you have a dip, right? You basically buy the dips and kind of like use this opportunity to hodl some large cap gems, right? So with regards to Anchor, again, it's a very a relatively well known project, but I'll still use kind of like the coin market caps information section in order to talk about Anchor and provide some general information of what Anchor is. Anchor originates as a solution that utilizes shared resources in order to provide easy and affordable blockchain node hosting solutions, right? So again, Anchor is a protocol or a platform that kind of creates solutions that utilizes shared resources, or kind of like allows for shared resources to be to make it possible for people to have affordable blockchain based node hosting solution, right? So by using Anchor service, you can kind of use the shared resources capabilities in order to pool a whole bunch of people's tokens together in order to create a node or launch a node which will benefit all the players, which would otherwise not be possible because each and every individual token holder may not be holding sufficient amount of tokens to start a node in the first place, right? So that's basically what Anchor project is. It was founded in November in 2017, and during its time on the market, it has built a marketplace for container-based cloud services through the usage of shared resources. Again, it was a it's a very like kind of like an old project that was founded pretty much in 2017 November, late 2017. And during its time, it was kind of like used as a marketplace for creating marketplace for container based cloud services through the usage of shared resources, right? So that was initially what it was doing. This in turn provides developers and enterprise clients with the ability to easily deploy blockchain nodes at a much cheaper price when compared to public cloud providers, right? So again, for people who don't have a lot of resources but they want to set up a node, Anchor was allowing them to do that by kind of like crowd pooling resources, crowd pooling their tokens in order to kind of like enable the smaller players to have a node which would otherwise not be possible, right? Um, as such, hosting blockchain nodes on Anchor take away centralization issues and single point of failure. Again, this is one of the main reasons why Anchor kind of like was popular, and it kind of started growing its base quite rapidly because of the fact that it was not only allowing for the little guy to have their own nodes, but they're also kind of like a project that only operates fully in decentralized manner, which kind of like is good for people who want to move away from centralized cloud solutions, right? Furthermore, public blockchains are able to engage in communities and provide further assistance to their networks. Anchor aims to build an infrastructure platform and marketplace for Web3 deployment to enable resource providers as well as end users to connect to blockchain technologies and DeFi applications. So again, they're basically trying to use, they're kind of basically leveraging on their infrastructure to kind of create like a Web3 marketplace for people to kind of like pool their resources and enable kind of node creation, and not only that but also to kind of connect different blockchains and blockchain technologies and also DeFi applications as well, right? So it's a very interesting value proposition. Note that the Anchor proprietary cloud infrastructure operates independently when we compare it to public cloud providers, and that it is completely powered through geographically distributed data centers to increase its stability and resilience levels, right? So again, comparing Anchor's cloud, decentralized cloud solution versus a public or centralized cloud solution, Anchor is miles ahead when it comes to not only decentralization, but also when it comes to how it kind of like provides its infrastructural capabilities, and it is completely like based on the geographically distributed data centers in order to basically improve stability and to kind of like create resilience in the nodes, right? So that's basically some of the core concepts for Anchor. In a nutshell, it's basically a project that allows for people with less number of tokens or less capabilities of setting up their own nodes pool their resources together. In this case, it could be tokens for a proof of stake node. People can basically pool their tokens and create the minimum amount required to secure a node, thereby being eligible to be rewarded by the node, right? And Anchor allows this to be possible when in reality those individuals with their less number of resources or tokens won't be able to set up a node, right? And this is all done purely in a decentralized manner with much more higher level of security compared to centralized public cloud solutions, right? So who are the founders of Anchor? The Anchor network was founded in 2017 at Berkeley University in California as a distributed computing platform that takes advantage of blockchain technologies, right? Co-founder Chandler Song worked as an engineer at Amazon Web Services and serves as CEO, while the other co-founder Ryan Fang worked as an investment banker at Morgan Stanley. Again, this is some kind of like an introduction to kind of like the founders who created Anchor. It was created by two really smart people in 2017 at the Berkeley University in California, and Chandler Song, who is the CEO, introduced Ryan Fang to Bitcoin and blockchain during their freshman year back in 2014, where he talked him into buying 22 Bitcoin together. In 2017, those Bitcoins became the seed that founded the Anchor project, right? So again, just like many legacy projects that got their inspiration from Bitcoin, this project also kind of like has its roots set up through Bitcoin or via Bitcoin, which kind of like created fascination amongst the founders that made them create a project that kind of like is much more advanced and much more much more advanced in terms of every single aspect of it compared to the first generation blockchain such as Bitcoin, right? Together they acknowledge the potential of cloud computing market as an infrastructure that could drive global innovation. This led them on a mission to build a cheaper decentralized cloud. So again, they realized that cloud computing or cloud-based services are going to basically be the future of the economies of every single infrastructure that's going to be set up in the future, and they kind of wanted it to be decentralized as opposed to centralization, and therefore they kind of wanted to create a cheaper decentralized cloud model, which later became the Anchor vision, right? What makes Anchor unique? The Anchor network is created to provide a new blockchain solution that leverages ideal computing power from devices and data centers as a whole. So again, Anchor makes use of kind of like the ideal computing power of devices and data centers, which kind of makes it much more of a unique and much more approachable project instead of trying to mine ANKR through like heavy equipment such as proof of work kind of kind of systems, whereby people would have to buy big mining rigs and have the technical knowledge to do that. But instead, ANKR makes it much more easier for people to understand its infrastructure, and it basically uses the ideal computing power in order to leverage its its unique capabilities, right? It is a platform that enables the sharing economy where any customer can access resources at a more affordable rate while also providing enterprises with the ability to monetize on their spare computing power that is not being utilized, right? It is unique in the way that it is the first one to use trusted hardware, and as such this ensures a high level of security. So again, they are basically a platform that basically enable sharing economy. So sharing is basically the main core concept, or the core kind of like the consensus for ANKR protocol, where everything is kind of like shared in order to create nodes and allow for node generations to happen, and any kind of player without any restrictions can access these services by pooling their resources together at an affordable rate, while also basically providing enterprises with the ability to monetize on their spare computing power, right? So they can basically also use the spare computing power in order to kind of like monetize and make some passive income on the side, which is otherwise not used anyway, right? It is unique in the way that it is the first one to use trusted hardware, and as such this ensures high level of security. So again, they are one of the first people group to kind of use trusted hardware, and that kind of in many ways makes them more secure than several other blockchains, right? So again, this is kind of like the bird's eye view of ANKR. I highly recommend you guys to go to their website and read about this project, because it is a very interesting project that has incredibly high potential in the long run, and it's something that will definitely be a good buy opportunity, especially considering this dip, right? So if you go to their website ankr.com, that is ankr.com, you can learn more about their project, which I highly recommend you to do before investing in this project, right? So their main selling feature is connect to Web3 in minutes. We support more than 40 blockchain protocols for staking or developing purposes, right? So again, they basically want to highlight the fact that they are a platform that connects multiple different blockchains, and kind of like want to showcase that they are basically the hub for the Web3 kind of like the ecosystem, and they support 40 different blockchain protocols for staking and for any form of development that can happen through ANKR, right? So again, here are some of the kind of like the icons for the blockchains that they support. They support Polkadot, Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain, or sorry, Binance Coin, Celo, Elrond, Bitcoin as well, and Matic, Tron, and so on and so forth, right? So some really big players out there. Staking nodes, spin up your own staking nodes and start earning rewards immediately. So again, you can kind of like, as we discussed, kind of create your own node and set up the nodes immediately without any issues, and you can do that by clicking on the get started for free button, and it will kind of like get you more information about how you can start your own node, right? Developer APIs, easily build Web3 products with instant API access to major blockchain and DeFi protocols. Again, you'll be able to also kind of like access Web3 products with instant API access for many major blockchains as well as DeFi protocols, right? So enterprise solutions, turnkey infrastructure solutions for cryptocurrency exchanges, staking platforms, data analytics providers, and more, right? So again, you are basically able to receive a lot of versatile solutions through their turnkey infrastructure, and this kind of like provides opportunities for developing solutions for cryptocurrency exchanges, staking platforms, data analytic providers, as well as much more, right? By clicking contact sales, you can kind of access some of their services, This is going to be mostly suitable for corporations or enterprises. So they have currently 8,000 plus nodes that's deployed for several different blockchains, for 40 different blockchains. And here's a cool animation that they show, which kind of like shows how one big node basically comprises of multiple different small nodes from different investors or participants, right? Trusted by blockchain pioneers around the world. So they're basically trusted by Akala network, which is one of the most anticipated projects on the Polkadot ecosystem. Avalanche, which is a very popular, fast-growing blockchain competitor to Ethereum. Binance, obviously the largest exchange in the world based on volume. Bounce, which is a project that we covered in our channel. It has a very unique way of doing a launch pad. So if you guys want to learn more about Bounce finance as well as learn about their auction token, I suggest you to watch my video on that. It's available on my channel. Cello, which is also very interesting project. Compound Finance, again a project on the Ethereum blockchain. Coin One, Dia, Elron, Flipside Crypto, Harmony, Huobi Global, and so on and so forth. You can also see the entire list by clicking the Show All button. Basically, they're partnered with some really big players, and that's something that's very interesting to see because that's kind of going to cement the longevity of this project, right? We are making waves. Here's what our friends say about us. So you can also see what some of the projects they have worked with talk about what ANKR does. Again, one of the popular Ethereum-based projects, the Graph, has basically kind of like been on fire since its launch, and it kind of gained a huge popularity and its own kind of fan group. They are also partnered with ANKR, and you can kind of read about what the Graph protocol and Compound Finance as well as Cello and blockchain at Berkeley, which is again, it's not necessarily a project, it's basically a group, what they have to say about ANKR, right? So again, very interesting information that can maybe add some form of some form of validity to people who don't really believe in these kind of projects, right? You can also kind of like follow their website in order to keep or even sign up on their email newsletter in order to receive updates about this project, right? Again, a very simple website with information presented in very bite-sized pieces. If you click the three lines on the top right corner, you can kind of access their products. You can also access staking. You can see that they have ETH 2.0 staking available on ANKR, which is all done fully in a decentralized manner. So instead of staking with a centralized exchange where there's a risk of losing your funds, you can stake your Ethereum on ETH for ETH 2.0 contract on ANKR, right, in a decentralized manner. Again, not financial advice, but it's just my opinion that it would be useful to stake ETH 2.0 for in a decentralized ecosystem rather than staking it with the centralized exchange, right? Just my opinion, not financial advice. You can see that there's about 48,000 ETH that's staked with ANKR, and there are 2,659 stakers on ANKR, which is very cool. So why stake with ANKR? ANKR's ETH2 staking solution provides the best user experience and highest level of safety, combined with an attractive reward mechanism and instant staking liquidity through a bond-like synthetic token called AE. So again, if you stake your Ethereum tokens or Ethereum kind of like cryptocurrency tokens with ETH 2.0, you kind of can't access them for a matter of at least a year or so, right? Until ETH 2.0 kind of goes live. But protocols like ANKR, what they do is once you stake your Ethereum, you kind of get a ETH, which is kind of like a representation of the staked ETH on the ETH 2.0 contract, which can further be used for yield farming and liquidity provision and so on and so forth, which can also accrue interest, right? So that's something that ANKR is doing. Again, you can kind of read through this in detail if you guys want to be a part of this. There's a micro pool like staking managers, staking liquidity, security. Again, ANKR is one of the most trusted blockchains, and it offers some of the highest levels of securities. So if you are planning to stake your ETH with ANKR, rest assured that your funds are going to be safe, right? It's a very popular blockchain, not relatively well known, but it is definitely becoming more and more popular. But they're also giving you a calculator to provide you information on how much rewards you will be earning for staking. Let's say for example, if you stake somewhere between 5 and so if you have 0.5 ETH, you can kind of get a yearly returns of $117, right? Not bad for newbies who want to kind of like test their waters, on Ethereum, and test their waters on Ethereum staking as well, right? So again, you can use this nice convenient slide bar to kind of like do your own calculation. You can even connect your wallet to get to do it fully in a decentralized way, and even if you're happy with the numbers, then you can start staking right away, right? So that's pretty much it when it comes to the project. They also have the ONX Finance, which was a project that I covered like a few months back, and I do believe that ONX Finance is going to be listed on Binance sometime in the coming future. But at the same time, they may not necessarily release it when everybody is expecting it, right? So ONX Finance is also a very promising project that I've covered in the past, and I would recommend you guys to check out my video on that in my channel, right? So again, they have a lot of other information that you guys can obviously kind of like research on, but I'm going to go to the coin market cap page for ANKR. So this token is currently ranked 97th by market cap on coin market cap, and it's currently trading at 13 cents per token. And had a recent dip of 9.94% due to the current kind of like Tesla Elon Musk based Tesla Elon Musk induced dip on the cryptocurrency market, right? Its market cap is $925 million. Again, we are kind of like we're kind of used to seeing projects with less than like 10 to 15 million dollars in market cap. So this may be a little bit more newer to people who have been following this channel, but rest assured that it's a good opportunity to buy large caps during a dip, whereas small caps can be literally kind of like purchased at any time, because they're small caps. Again, you have to purchase it early, but you can pretty much purchase it before it reaches $100 million in market cap, and you will still be fine, right? But the large caps, they are the ones that are very hard to get when it comes to a bull market, where they will literally be shooting up, and you will kind of be left alone if you don't hold a bag, right? So these kind of dip opportunities provide you an opportunity to assess your portfolio and see how many large caps you have compared to small caps, and kind of give you an opportunity to get exposure on some large cap tokens that you probably don't really have the time to research, or probably you haven't really researched yet, right? So I'm bringing this large cap project to you guys so that you guys can assess your risk tolerance, and kind of like see the projects that you can potentially have a secure bet on for the long run, right? So this token, although it has a market cap of $925 million, I do believe that this token can be a very strong long-term player. This project is basically facilitating node creation, staking, and anything that will help develop the cryptocurrency space in the long run through a decentralized manner, right? And that's something that I find as a very strong value proposition. But any project that facilitates decentralization is going to be like the stepping stone for DeFi for the future, right? And I think ANKR kind of satisfies that criteria. And for a project that aims to do that, I do believe that this is still relatively undervalued, and it has a high potential to be worth $5 billion to $10 billion in market cap pretty soon, right? It's definitely going to climb the ranking. I don't think it will be anywhere near the top 25 rankings, but this does have a high potential to be above the top 50 rankings, and it's already in the 97th. So being top 50 is going to be something that will be a really decent gain, plus it's going to be a long-term player for sure, right? So based on that criteria, I believe that the market cap is still it has a long way to go. if you see the market cap to total value locked, it seems like it's kind of like overvalued at this point, 5.52, which is again higher than the optimal value of 1, which we would expect. But rest assured that this project does, on paper, seem to be overvalued. But I do believe that if you're in it for the long run, I think this is not going to be an issue, because this token can obviously like cross the 25 cent 50 cent mark, and may even in the long run be about $1 per token, right, which is going to be really huge. And again, this is something that we're talking about like really long run. So if you manage to have diamond hands and if you hold this token for the really long run, I think this token has a potential to even go past $1, right, which is high possibility in my opinion. And if you take the total max supply, there are 10 billion tokens in max supply, and the circulating supply is 7 billion token, which is like 70% of the max supply. Again, I am not a huge fan of tokens that are worth more, the tokens that are more than 100 million tokens in as max supply, because there's a lot of price deflation potential in the short term, at least, for tokens that have extremely high max supply and extremely low circulating supply, right? But when it comes to Anchor, although the max supply is 10 billion, the circulating supply is already 7 billion. So in theory, there's only 3 more billion left to be injected into the market, right? Again, that may sound like a lot of tokens being injected, but at the same time, it's a staking project, and Anchor can be staked, and it is being staked by several holders, which will take its supply and lock it away from the market, which will obviously be price appreciative in the future. And 3 billion tokens is going to be used as inflationary rewards paid out to people who stake Anchor on their protocol. And those tokens will, again, a small group of people will obviously sell those tokens, but a large group of people who understand this project, I do believe that they will be staking it and auto compounding that staking rewards, and that will be really good for people who hold Anchor tokens, especially people who have bought it at these kind of dips, right? So I do think that the long-term potential for Anchor is really huge, and that's something that we'll have to wait and see what the rankings will play out in the upcoming years, right? So if you take the charts, you can clearly see that this token has had a long period of kind of like sideways action and no price action whatsoever. The token information is available all the way from March 16, 2019 on CoinMarketCap, and it was initially trading at 1 cent per token, and it was kind of like moving pretty much below the 1 cent range for a long time until August 2020, when it had a mild like kind of like a pump where the token briefly peaked above the 1 cent range, but kind of like went back below the 1 cent range pretty soon. And you can kind of see that it was trying very hard to move up, but the real action only started early February this year, when the token price went from 1 cent all the way to a parabolic rally of about the all-time highs of about slightly shy of 2 cents, which is about, like, I believe, kind of like 17 cents 17 cents range, 17 to 18 cent range, before it could hit the all-time highs of 20 cents, but it then sharply declined, and now it's kind of like in a relatively lower spot where it is kind of poised to be accumulated before it can pump even harder, right? Again, the bull market is definitely not over yet, so if you guys want to kind of buy some really decent kind of like mid-cap tokens, then this project will be a really good player, right? So again, it's a very interesting project with a very strong value proposition, and it's pretty much had a really decent dip from its all-time highs, and that's going to be something that many people may want to take advantage of. Again, not financial advice, right? But if you take the Bitcoin comparative, on the other hand, this token is definitely something that will have extremely high peaks and extremely high volatility with Bitcoin comparative, because it not only was seeing the Bitcoin action since all the way since 2017, it also probably was facing the winter, winter, crypto winter last 2 years, and kind of saw ups and downs, and now it's kind of revived in Bitcoin comparative, where it's kind of like having a slightly lower peak to its previous all-time highs of 0.000003 satoshis, which is probably 30 satoshis, and now it's kind of trading at around uh, kind of less than 30 satoshis per token, which again, it's a decent buy when it comes to Bitcoin comparator. But I do believe that Bitcoin price itself will continue to go lower, which will kind of drive the prices of these tokens even more lower. So if you do want to buy this token, it's probably better to wait a bit. Maybe it may go down even further in the weekend, which is where you will kind of find a decent price point for the Bitcoin comparative, right? For the dollar comparative, then I think this is it's still a decent time to buy. But if you wait longer, you can probably buy it at about 12 cents, 12.5 cents, or even 11 cents if you're lucky, right? And then it will probably start going back either sideways or going back up, right? So if you'll take the markets where ANKR is available. ANKR is pretty much available in every single reputed exchange. It's available in Coinbase Pro, Binance, Huobi Global. It's also available in KuCoin, Bithumb, and Gay.io, and Bittrex, Crypto.com. So the liquidity for ANKR is enormous, and it cannot be understated. And I believe that this token will continue to be listed in several new upcoming exchanges with a lot of potential. And in the long run, this token is definitely going to perform extremely well. And when it reaches 25 cents, and then 50 cents, and then 75, and then a dollar, a lot of people are going to be extremely wealthy. And I just want to bring this to you guys because I've had my eye out for this project for a long time, and I've had some bags. I kind of had some bag and sold them, and then had them again. Now I'm trying to average back in because I do want to get exposure to some mid cap tokens during this downtrend, right? Again, when it comes to the market, this is the best time to buy any cryptocurrency. If you guys are kind of rethinking about the future of crypto, uh, crypto has a wonderful future. I do believe that it's going to be extremely profitable in the short term, but it's going to basically be the basis of the financial ecosystem for the future, right? And if you get into any of these buying opportunities during these dips, you will definitely, and if you hodl it long term, then you will definitely be in a really good position in the future, right? So I wouldn't really worry, I wouldn't really ask people to kind of start worrying at this moment, because we're still at least halfway there to the peak of the bull run, which I do believe that it will be sometime later this year or early next year. But again, my thoughts on this project are, I do believe that it's an extremely undervalued project which is going down many people's radar right now. But it's only going to be a matter of time before people start noticing this, and its token will start pumping like crazy, right? Again, remember guys, you guys are not regular investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video, guys. If you like my video, please click the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.